It's about a drop of water from the clay, not the potter. It's Rhyme and Reason 936.
Here's your rhyme and reason. Oh, yeah.
Hey there, kiddos. From 3 to 103, Tony here. Have you ever made a rock? Okay, how about a stick? Have you ever made either one of those? Well, what about a drop of water? Surely you've at least made a drop of water in your life. And surely somewhere there's a school science class where that has happened, right? Naturally, I don't expect anyone to create a river, but surely at least one single drop of water. Shouldn't be that hard to do. And if someone has made a drop of water, can you imagine how proud they must be? I mean, I can almost see the headline, Whiz Kid invents world's first drop of water in a laboratory. Yeah, that whiz kid's going to be able to boast about that. He's going to have some street cred for a long time. Okay, a rock, a stick, and water. I mean, they seem like simple things, but no whiz kid on earth can make even a grain of sand or a seed because only God can make those things. And I bet you're fine with that, right? I'm sure you don't mope around wishing you could invent dirt and stuff because it's a lot more fun throwing rocks, lying in the sand, and splashing in the water, especially on these hot summer days. But if you could invent a drop of water, everybody would want to be your friend. And before you knew it, you could brag about how you have 1,000,000 friends and think about how proud that might make you feel. But you gotta watch out for that proud part, because that's where a lot of trouble starts. So maybe you're not a science whiz kid, but let's say you win a running race, or you paint a picture that wins first place at the art show, or maybe you write a hit song people love to listen to on the radio. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But I recommend you don't get all caught up in that being proud of yourself stuff. It's a much better idea to thank the Lord that He gave you strong legs to win the race, or thank Him for giving you the talent and good eyes to paint a beautiful picture. Or how about the good ears and skills to write music? After all, God was the one who created you. He designed your muscles and your bones and your eyes and your ears. He gave you a brain, and He gave your brain the power to think your own thoughts. Imagine that. You can dream your own dreams and even sing your own songs. Now, you wouldn't have any of those things without Him. So God must love you and me a whole lot to make so many wonderful things available for us to enjoy, right? And just so you know, it's fine for others who love you to be proud of you. They want to see you do good and awesome things, because that means you're growing and getting better and better at what they helped you learn how to do. But don't forget, you didn't invent art. You didn't invent music, or even that one drop of water I mentioned earlier. And you certainly didn't invent you. So stay humble. Don't fall into that whole pride and proud trap. Remember, there are some things God hates, and at the top of His list is a proud look. So my hope for you is that you'll go and do some great things, and then give thanks to God. Here's a rhyme to help you remember that. If you're proud of yourself or the things you do, pretty soon no one wants to be around you, because you'll sound just like an old clanging bell that's out of tune and doesn't ring so well. Give a nod to God with a thankful prayer. Let Him know you're glad that He's always there. And be glad for the gifts that He's given you. It's because of Him you can do what you do. And while we're giving credit to God, you know, God can think a new thought too. And He can create an entirely new creature. Matter of fact, He could create a whole new universe and then turn around and change His mind and decide to replace that new universe with a whole nother universe. And before time began, who knows? Maybe He even did something like that. Wait, what? Did I just say before time began? You betcha, but I don't mean that God did or didn't do something before all time began. I just mean the time before you and I and our ancestors all the way back to Adam and Eve started. Because God has always been around. He lived forever in the past. So there's no such thing as before time began. My, heads are spinning now and imaginations are churning, because there are full grown-ups who should know better, who will try to tell you God lives outside of time. But time exists because God exists. And God has always done things in steps, and steps happen one after another. You know what after means, right? It means there was a before. So all you got to do to see that God lives in time is read his best-selling book of all time. See what I did there? And sometime in the distant past, God started thinking about creating a planet filled with humans who could walk and talk with him. Then, after he thought up what he would do, he did it. And that started the whole process for life on good old planet Earth. There's a couple of places in the Bible where it says God was working things out before time began. But that means before your time began, before human beings began, but not before God. Time has always been here because God has always been here. He didn't make it up. He didn't have to. He made us, and our time began when he made us. We don't know what it's like to have always existed because we all had a starting day. You and I didn't live forever in the past, but we can live forever in the future. If we choose life, that is, because his love is that great. By the way, did you know he loved you before you were even born? It's true. He put you together inside your mom. And even before he created Adam and Eve, God started making plans for us. He wants us to live forever, and because he's so smart, he figured out a way to do that even if we mess up. Isn't that cool? Yeah, the main thing to remember is he made you because he loves you. He wants you to live with him forever. You don't have to be perfect. Your mistakes won't keep you out of heaven as long as you believe and trust in Jesus. And that might sound lame and old-fashioned, but it's the only truth that'll make you free. And that's all a promise God made before your time began. Here's a rhyme to help you remember. Even before you were born, God was making a plan for us to live in his love. Jesus became a man whose life would pay the full debt for all the bad things done. God made a way for your life, and that way is his son. That does it for this episode of the Rhyme and Reason podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, remember it's brought to you by TonyFunderburk.com. If you haven't already, go over there and insert your email address, and I'll send you some free music and a book and all kinds of little goodies, surprises for absolutely no cost to you except your email address. And as always, remember, life has rhyme and reason because of the power of God's love.
Is a rhyme and